Talking a bit about Thailand in general. In fact, over the several decades since we first have the first national economic and socio-economic plan in 1960, we had both successes and failures. The country over this year has graduated out from one of the poorest countries in the region. If you look at some statistics recorded during the time in 1960, per capita GDP of the Thai people was lower than Malaysia, lower than the Philippines. Thailand, in fact, on the average was poorer than people in Myanmar. Over these years, we have graduated out, and at the present day, we can be classified as the so-called upper middle income country. The poverty level measured by the standard of the World Bank at that time was 88%, and the year 2010 it was down to only about 8% or so, or lower than 8. We still have to wait for this verification. The finance ministry registration of the poor people seem to be quite high. They are looking. Another indicator, the infant mortality rate. At that time, for every 1,000 births, 50 did not go through. That respective indicator now was down to about 5% or so. When you look at the other side, the country is also facing numerous realistic challenges. Among them, some widening social and economic inequity. This gap is widening more and more. You ask the question how are going to solve some of these challenges. They tend to mention education, education to solve this inequity, social inequity, ethics, governance, corruption, competitiveness. But frankly speaking, the education system itself is also facing lots of challenges, not just because these challenges came with the fast changing world, but also those challenges embedded in its own legacy. It has received numerous serious criticisms, too much on quantity and not enough quality, problem of accessibility, mismatch of needed skills, inefficient uses of budgetary resources. Education commands some 23% of our national budget, to be exact, 23%, highest ministry. Too much and sometimes imbalanced regulations and controls by governmental agencies. If some of those here related to running private schools here, whether it's international or domestic, would concur with this observation. Lack of good and enough information for informed decision for students, and lag behind in technology adoption. But there's also a saying, however, that criticism is a close cousin of complaints. What a better situation it would be if we all turn our frustration into constructive contribution. Now, while many are fond of making big plans on national education reforms, in fact, many research works on trying to improve the quality of education all point to two areas. First, the quality of teacher. And second, the quality of the time the teachers spend with the students. The two core areas. There are many other factors. Yesterday we also talked about 3 dimensions. One on personnel, school. Second on system. Big words like structure, policy, and resource management. But the core, quality of teacher, quality of the time, the teachers spend with the students. Recently, I'm touched by, well circulated, Mark Zuckerberg's commencement address at Harvard on May 25th. He addressed meaningfully about sense of purpose, which involves everyone as part of something bigger than ourselves, that we are needed, something better ahead to work for. Zuckerberg suggested 3 ways to create a world where everyone has a sense of purpose: by taking on big, meaningful projects together, by redefining equality so everyone has the freedom to pursue purpose, and by building community across the world. I have been observing that some communities are striving to achieve that goal. They deeply explore educational problems and the deep-rooted social causes in order to build a community of leaders filled with possibility and purpose. Without losing hope and heading to other less bumpy roads, they instead choose the road less taken by making themselves prompt, equipped, and with knowledge and insights to tackle challenges head-on, aiming to create lasting impacts. Teach for All, together with its 45 partners across the globe, including Teach for Thailand, sets an outstanding example of a leadership movement who jumpstarts their action and walk the talk. It is much encouraging to learn that for the year 2014 to date, Teach for Thailand has inspired hope and foster possibility by recognizing 140 remarkable leaders. Some of them I'm quite familiar with and quite proud that some are fellow of the Anantamani Foundation as well. These leaders with a proven set of skills, mindsets, relationships, interests, and personal experiences, and categorize them to maximize their impact. By bringing these agents of change into the classrooms and building the community of learning among 28,000 students, they are cultivating leaders who care about and advocate for children from the school level and beyond. Over the next 5 years, the information given to me, they are quite ambitious, planning to scale exponentially to transform the lives of more than 100,000 students. Ladies and gentlemen, educational challenge is massive. It evolves the complexity over decades. So it inevitably requires time, constant improvement, and support to tackle. We can accomplish that by encouraging people to rise to the challenge through leveraging their talents and fostering their leadership. Obviously, the proof points demand a long way to unveil, but at least we can be proud that our community has started strong with a clear sense of purpose. Though it seems such a small beginning, the possibility is endless. Think about an old saying that goes, little drops of water make the mighty ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, education and its problems concern everyone. As His Majesty the King, the late King Bhumibol Adulyadej, once addressed, the people's education is the indicator of the advancement or the decline of a country. It is crucial that our sectors of society, public and private, accurately understand our context, our system, and view education as a key to development success, so we can collaborate for progressive change. This work demands a tremendous amount of people who are willing to do it with commitment. Frankly speaking, we all know that Teach for Thailand fellows, alumni, and staff cannot accomplish this on their own. They must enlist and ally with many other remarkable people, including donors, partners, and families. Together, we are not simply supporting a teacher placement program, but we are enabling our nation to fulfill its aspiration of equal opportunity as our children fulfill their potential. This is a big long-term project with a meaningful return on investment. It requires more than funding. Influence also counts. I wish we could have started earlier. The good news is now it's not too late to create positive momentum. And the best news is the decision is all yours. Thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to participate, and all the best. Thank you.